Breaking down all 19 things you missed from Survivor Season 43, Episode 8. Careful for any spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet, and make sure to stick around as we'll be announcing last week's buff giveaway winner. If you want to enter next week's buff giveaway, just make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below your winner pick going into Episode 9. Let's get started with number 19, Cody gives the recap. I would argue this episode doesn't keep the high intensity throughout the entire 45 minutes, but holy, hold on tight, the episode starts strong with so much happening. As this tweet says right here, it's time for Survivor. Cody's gonna give us the recap of last episode. Basically, Cody, Jesse, and the Coco Alliance formed a majority together, and a surprise to everyone, Sammy was part of that majority as well. This is gonna lead into our next point, but basically everyone knows about James's knowledge is power advantage, which I'm still mad they brought back into the season, but whatever. Number 18, Janine in shambles. As we mentioned, at Tribal Council, Sammy betrayed his alliance and voted with the majority instead, and so because of this, he has to go on an apology tour with Owen and Janine saying sorry for not voting with them. Janine is really going to be struggling for this entire episode, and really the last couple of episodes, as she lost her ally Ellie, then she lost her idol when Dwight was voted out, or so we thought her idol was gone. We're about to talk about that crazy surprise twist, but we first need to talk about Sammy and Noelle. Sammy and Noelle are like 99% sure that Janine's idol got flushed away when Dwight got voted out, and after a crazy game of telephone, everyone knows that Janine's idol is now out of the game. It's so bizarre how this new era of Survivor works. Some of the players didn't realize the idol was gone, as Cassidy talks about flushing the idol by accident. Number 17, Jesse Strong. Here we go. This moment was absolutely crazy and probably a top 5 Survivor twist in recent years. Somehow, before last Tribal Council, Dwight gave Janine's idol to Jesse instead, and literally no one in the game knows about this. Technically, Jesse's also holding on to Cody's idol as well. I guarantee you at some point, it may have even happened this episode off camera, but Jesse will give that idol back to Cody. But this is insane that Jesse has Janine's idol, no one knows. And I guarantee you after the season, watching it back, this is how Janine's feeling right now. Number 16, Owen flashback. We're getting some nice old school camp life Survivor moments. They're painting the flag, they're hanging out, just chatting. Then we cut to a flashback from Owen, and I get a little bit worried here. I thought this was a weird point to give Owen a flashback, and I thought, oh no, 100% Owen's gonna be voted out here. I like Owen, I don't want him to go home, but it's really cool how different Survivor fans can interpret things differently, as this tweet thought the exact opposite. Owen was adopted by a white family, and although the family is completely awesome, he always felt slightly isolated. He's able to relate this back to the game, as the past 2 Tribal Councils, he's been on the wrong side of the numbers, meaning he's feeling isolated in the game of Survivor right now. He needs to start having fun. Number 15, Bottom Dwellers talk. So on one side of things, we have Owen maybe feeling a little down on himself for not being in the numbers, but on the exact opposite side of things, I love Noelle's thought process here. Noelle got screwed over at the last Tribal Council. She's not in the numbers anymore, but she says that's on her. It just so happens the other players acted and started playing the game a little bit before her. We'll talk about them, the bottom dwellers, the outsiders. Really, it's just a minority alliance that people not in power. This is going to consist of Owen, Noelle, Janine, and Gabler. Number 14, 7 Strong. And on the other side of things, the 7 Strong, the majority alliance, this is going to consist of James, Cassidy, Jesse, Carla, Sammy, Ryan, and Cody. Obviously, if you're in the power, if you're in the majority alliance, you want to stay in the majority alliance. It makes sense. So these 7 players talk about sticking together. It's easy votes, and once they get to the 7, they can fight it out. Personally, I don't see this happening. These 7 players are pretty different from each other. Their plans to target a physical threat first, and that just so happens to be Owen. We already talked about it. Owen had a flashback earlier in the episode, so I thought 100% Owen was going home here. Number 13, Carla dreaming. This is completely wild. I'm just gonna roll the clip.
My dreams are wild here. Probst was there. It was like an eating competition, but it was like a lot of chicken.
And that leads into everyone talking about food, how hungry they are. Well, except for Gabler. Gabler's stronger than that. After all this discussion about talking about food, wanting food, they're so hungry. I really thought it was going to be foreshadowing to an immunity challenge where you can choose to sit out for, I don't know, like hamburgers or something. I forgot this is the new era of Survivor. It's not that easy, but a similar thing's gonna happen. We'll talk about it. Number 12, Gabler and Ryan. Like we said, Gabler is mentally strong. He's stronger than everyone else. He doesn't need the food. But the problem is everyone else is super hungry right now, so he's gonna go with Ryan to go fish for some fish. Does that make sense? Fishing for fish? Do you go fishing for fish? You're looking for fish? Fish. They go out fishing. I guarantee you Ryan would be the perfect old school Survivor player. We're gonna talk about it later, especially just before Tribal Council, but he can't strategize for the life of him. In fact, he actually refuses to strategize. It's so weird. His mentality is 100% old school. Number 11, I'm cheering for Sammy. I feel like when I'm talking to the camera, recapping the episodes, I'm trying to be as objective as possible, but I'm not gonna lie, as a fan of Survivor, I'm cheering for Sammy and Owen. I'm loving these players right now. Sammy's worried about the 7 Alliance and how he fits in with that group, and he really wants to play to win the game, not play to get to the end of the game, so he's debating flipping on the 7 Alliance. Number 10, Jeff wants me to apply. And then just before the commercial break, we cut to Jeff Probst talking to us, not really breaking the fourth wall, because it's not during the episode, but he talks about, hey, if you're a Survivor plan and this is your dream, you need to apply for the show right now. I haven't got my application in yet for next 2 seasons, so I'm gonna put that on my to-do list, get my application in, and I'll see you in Fiji. Number 9, challenge Matt chat. It turns out I was half right about the food situation. As the new era Survivor, Jeff is gonna negotiate with the players for some rice. A little bit different than Survivor 41 and Survivor 42, there's gonna be no breaking the fourth wall by Jeff Probst here. And Jeff is gonna be way stricter with his negotiations. If they want a bag of rice, he needs 5 players to sit out from the immunity challenge. It ends up being Sammy, James, Carla, Jesse, and Cassidy all sit out. All these players happen to be members of the 7 Majority Alliance. I took it as a little bit of a condescending remark. James looks over to Owen and tells him he should sit out of the challenge. He's safe tonight. No, 100% Owen was not safe tonight. He needed to win. Number 8, immunity challenge. It's a fun, classic immunity challenge. You're gonna balance a ball on a pole at regular intervals at another section of pole, and if the ball drops, you're out. Number 7, the challenge. Fun little Survivor behind the scenes fact, but before every challenge, they do a little tester to see how everything goes. And well, Owen tweeted this out about the Survivor test. Ryan tries a weird strategy of balancing the pole on his head, which was a really weird strategy. Turns out it was a bad strategy, but still cool to see. And then it became a showdown between Cody and Owen, and oh my, this was crazy. Owen needed to win this. Cody ends up dropping, Owen wins. He needed to win this with a crazy celebration. And it was a fun callback having Owen's old school Survivor inspiration. Number 6, Owen staying alive. Well, my early episode predictions turned out to be wrong. Owen's safe. I'm happy about it. But he is smart enough to understand he is on the bottom here, so it's really good he won the challenge. He talks about James asking him to sit out before the challenge, just rubbed him the wrong way. This may become a theme in future episodes, as the promo for next week shows James kind of turning into a godfather-like figure. Number 5, the 7 comes together. The 7 are gonna come together, decide who's gonna be going home. They gotta do this quick because Ryan doesn't want to strategize. He just wants to go out there and fish. It really was gonna be Owen going home tonight, so with him winning the challenge, it means Janine's gonna be going home. Oh no, poor Janine, nothing's going right for her. They made a big move. They put this 7 Alliance together last week. Cody's down for the easy vote this week. Why break things up? Well, Sammy wants to break things up. He doesn't fully trust the 7 Alliance. The issue is he doesn't see where he fits in the 7 Alliance and if he has a way to the finish line. I'm worried he might be making his move a little too early, but he's gonna try to push the votes onto Ryan. I was surprised by this, but he goes up to Carla and she's kind of down for this move. Carla's just pissed that Ryan's out there fishing when they should be strategizing and, you know, playing Survivor. Number 4, Janine and Cassidy. She's trying to shift the vote onto Ryan, which is good because other people are doing this too. Although Cassidy is in the Majority Alliance, she hears Janine's plan out and wants to work with her. Ryan's actually betrayed Cassidy multiple times, so deep down she doesn't truly trust him. And if you remember at the very beginning of the episode, the Outsiders or the Minority Alliance, they talked about they just needed one more person to flip and they would have the numbers. That person could be Cassidy here. Number 3, Janine or Ryan. Cody knows and understands there's a time and place to be crazy, but there's also a time for the easy vote. From an outsider looking in, I think the Majority Alliance made the right decision here. I think in the game of Survivor, Janine's scarier than Ryan. She's gonna play the game hard, the social, the strategic game. Sure, Ryan's a physical threat, but he's literally not playing Survivor. He's fishing. We'll talk about it in this many seconds, but the editors really tricked me here who was going home. Number 2, Tribal Council. Ryan wants everyone to just slow down, have fun out here, enjoy the adventure. On the exact opposite side of things, Owen wants to play Survivor hard. And Sammy brings up a good point, bringing everything together. Everyone's playing Survivor, it's just they're playing it in different ways. Number 1, Janine voted out. Okay, I can admit when I was tricked and when I get things wrong. I was tricked here. Good job, Survivor producers. For what turned out to be a simple majority vote, everyone voted for Janine except for Janine and Cassidy. The editors and producers did a fantastic job here turning this into an interesting episode. Anyways, congratulations, Andrew. You're this week's buff giveaway winner. I'll announce a new winner next week, and click right here for my Survivor Heroes vs. Villains 2 Dreamcast.